Your biggest opportunity is in the place of your biggest opposition. Now, when I had first heard this quote and it was said to me, I realized a lot. I realized that I was never failing. The universe was never against me. If anything, everything that was happening in my life was happening for me, to humble me, to allow me to become the woman that I am today, and to create the mindset that I have now in my life. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Danelis. Today we're going to be talking about mindset, how to have a good mindset, and to move forward through all the obstacles in your life. So, as I was saying before, when you're facing opposition, this is your opportunity to thrive, to grow, to perceive, to fight against everything that has been handed to you in this lifetime. Because a lot of us may not realize when we're going through hard times that everybody is going through their things. Everybody has experienced loss, everyone has experienced grief, everyone has experienced changes, challenges in their life, and it's simply life testing you to push forward. You see, when I started this YouTube stuff, I faced a lot of opposition of this not even working out. I started YouTube in around 2019. And this is something that I knew I really wanted for myself. I started creating content, I started creating videos. When I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to see, I started to get into my head. I started to question myself. I started to feel like maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I don't really know what I'm talking about. Maybe people are not interested in my life or what I have to say. It started off with a YouTube channel just being about my life, right? And getting to know me and things like that. After my third video, maybe my fourth video, I decided I wanted to share my YouTube channel with my partner at the time. But now thinking back at it, I realized that I wanted to share this with my partner because I needed some kind of validation, some kind of something to make me feel like I'm okay to be doing this. Now, don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun creating content with her. I had a lot of fun, doing the things that we did, creating pranks, challenges, all of those things, right? I had fun. But a big part of me knew that there was something more. A big part of me knew that this isn't what I was supposed to be doing. And it wasn't necessarily the content creating, it was what I was doing as a content creator. So eventually 2020 came, the world shut down, and we had stopped making videos. And so I just deleted the whole channel in general, and I just forgot about the whole idea about becoming a YouTuber. Life went on, I got another job, just things happened. And I told myself that the next time that I get on YouTube, it's going to be about me. But 2021 was a really big shift for me. It was the best, but the worst year of my life. It was the best year of my life because I was making a lot of changes for me. I started to grow a lot more spiritually. I started to recognize toxic patterns in my life, what I wanted for myself, what I didn't want for myself. And I started to develop a strong connection with the universe. And as I started to pray to the universe and ask the universe for clarity and started manifesting and wanting more for myself, life started to crumble. I started to lose friends. My healthy relationship turned toxic overnight. A lot of people that I thought had my back and they were there for me betrayed me, and I just lost connection. From there, I started to question myself. I started to question God. I started to question if God was so real, why was it that I was experiencing such a hard time after asking for clarity, after asking for better things for myself? And I knew that I deserved it because I know that I was putting in all of the hard work. I know that there are a lot of things that I did that nobody's seen behind closed doors. But as I started to spend a lot of time alone, as I started to think more about my life, as I started to heal, as I started to fight and overcome these obstacles in my life, I realized that everything that I was praying for was happening right in front of me. Things were just not going the way that I planned to. And this is the issue that a lot of us have. We create these goals and we get so deep into what we want and we get so specific of what we want. And that's great. I think that it's great to have goals, to know what you want, but also understand that in in order to get to your destination, you're not always going to take the path that you thought you were going to take. because you need to realize that the universe is always co-creating with you. So yes, you might think that you want this, you might think that in order to get this you need to enter this path, but the universe is always going to take over, especially when you open up and you ask for that clarity, you ask for guidance. The universe is going to flow through you, and it's going to lead you in a different direction. The toughest process in your life is when things are starting to manifest for you, even if it's not looking the way you want it to look. And this is simply because the universe, and this is simply because in order for you to get to your goals, to live the life you want to live, to get to where you need to get to, you need to surrender to the universe. And so the universe is going to take people, take things away from you, to push you and force you to have to fend for yourself, think for yourself, make decisions for yourself, not based off of your family, not based off of friendships, not based off of relationships, but because of you, what you want. Because sometimes what you want is not necessarily what you need. Sometimes what you need is more internally than physically. So, yeah, you want to be successful. Yeah, you want money. But where's your mindset at? What do you think about yourself? How do you feel about yourself? Are you allowing other things to influence you? Because if that's the case, then yes, the universe is going to force you to enter isolation and solitude. And in my experience, I truly trust and believe that that's what was happening to me. I was being pulled away from certain people, certain things in my life in order for me to think clearly. Because before all that chaos, before I started losing friends, before, things started ending for me in every aspect, I had a plan. I knew what I wanted for my life. I had a vision board. I knew exactly what state I wanted to move in, what condos I wanted to move in, what kind of life I wanted to move in. And I was so specific and so detailed. And I know that that's where I messed up. Because yes, it's good to have goals, but at the end of the day, I was making these plans, I was making these arrangements based off of what I felt the definition of wealth was in that moment. A lot of us, we think of wealth and we think of material things. We think of a wealthy person and we think of somebody who's high class, probably wearing a suit. But a wealthy person could simply be you right now looking in the mirror. And maybe you don't have a lot of money. Maybe you don't have the best home. Maybe you're not in the position that you want to be. But if you have a wealthy mindset and you look at yourself, you're a wealthy individual. And for me, I recognize, yeah, I wanted all of these things. I wanted this life. I wanted this money. I wanted to move. But was I really believing in myself? You got to realize, don't plan your life too far ahead. Don't plan your life too much, because God, the universe, will literally laugh in your face. Because you got to understand, the universe is always co creating with you. So I may have wanted to move to this state, but the universe knows when I move to that state, something drastic is going to happen and I'm probably going to have to move back. So the universe isn't going to send me to that state, you know? And so these are the kinds of things that we have to think about and trust and surrender to the universe. And through trusting the process is when you are going to start to see your manifestations. Because when you can sit back and relax and trust things, then you're going to start to see things clearly for your own eyes. Trust that everything that is happening in this moment is happening for you to manifest the best life for you. Because what I tell you, in 2021, I had literally lost everything, including my home. There was a point where I was homeless for about 2 years, living in a car, going from hotels, going from one house to another. And I felt ashamed about that. I felt so embarrassed to have to ask people for help, have to ask people if I can shower at their house, or, sleep over, or whatever the case may be. I felt so embarrassed to ask and to receive help, especially because I wanted more for myself. From that moment, I wanted to give up on life. I didn't want anything to do with anything. Until one night, I just got so bored. And I've always watched positive, inspiring videos. But one night, I got so bored. I was so sad. I was so depressed that I literally started to binge watch every single thing that I've ever watched that was positive. And I started to rewatch videos and actually understand them in such a different way, because I was actually going through struggles. You see, a lot of us are so used to getting things handed to us, and that's how I was. I was so used to getting things handed to me that I thought, hey, if I start manifesting, if I start saying that this is what I want, I'm simply just going to get it. I didn't think that I would have to go through trials and tribulations this deep in order to start developing the mindset that I have today, in order to start realizing that I just needed to sit and wait and trust the process. Because trust me, 2 years ago today in that car, I would have never expected me to be sitting here right now. I would never have expected me to have a morning routine. I wouldn't have expected me to be getting up every morning, going to the gym. I wouldn't have expected any of that because to me, it was the end. To me, that was my time to let go and to give up on myself. But when I started watching these inspiring videos and I started realizing that all I had to do was trust the universe, I started telling myself, you know what? When I get out of this situation, I am going to show up as the best version of myself. And that's exactly what I did. So I got up, I got a job, I started working, I started saving, I got myself out of debt. I found a place where I can stay for a little bit. And I started working on myself until one day I felt good enough to come on here and create a YouTube video for you guys last year. I trust that I'm not here on accident. I trust that I'm not here talking to you guys on accident. I was guided here. I didn't go through failures. I didn't go through the struggles for me to be back in this position to fail again. So I know that this is my purpose. And I know this and I'm confident about it because of the mindset that I have. Because I understand the world, because I understand what's happened in my life. Because if I wasn't meant to be here today, I wouldn't be here. If I was meant to be across the world, if I was meant to be somewhere else in my life, that's exactly where I would be. But I'm here. And that's what shows me that whatever it is that is meant for me, whatever it is that I desire, the universe is always going to fight for me, even if I have to go through hardships. Having this kind of mindset starts with a lot. It starts with the things that you're feeding yourself. As far as knowledge, what are the things that you are watching? What do you spend your time doing on social media, right? Because if you're sitting here on social media every day, just getting updates about the Kardashians or seeing what this rapper has going on or seeing what these people are doing, what's the new trend, those things aren't going to teach you about yourself. Those things aren't going to open doors for opportunities for you. Those things are going to keep you stuck in this toxic pattern, in this toxic cycle. Those things are going to pull you back from your truest potential. Because everything that you're looking at, everything that you see is literally being processed and recorded and being put into your subconscious mind. And so when you're scrolling through TikTok and you're watching 50 videos, you may not remember that one video from the 50 videos that you watch, but your subconscious mind just processed and calculated every single thing. And this is now data being put into a system which is called your brain, which is called your subconscious mind. So when you're feeding your mind those things all the time, that's what's going to create your limiting beliefs. That's what's going to create these certain thoughts about yourself. That's what's going to make you feel like you can't get X, Y, and Z because of your economy, because of where you grew up, because of the people you grew up around with. But I'm here to tell you that you can be whoever it is that you want to be. You can bounce back from literally anything. And I wish that somebody would have told me this when I was going through what I was going through. But you know what? I'm happy that I had to figure it out on my own. I'm happy that I took the time to watch videos, to read, to open up a book, to apply for jobs that were actually worthy of working at and getting paid what I felt I was worthy of receiving. Because when you're feeding your minds the right thing, this allows your brain to think clearly. This allows you to see life clearly from what it really is from a positive perspective. And this is why I speak so much about knowledge, because knowledge is power. This isn't something that I'm just saying. This is something that I've gone through. This is something that I deeply understand. And this is the reason that I make these videos for you. I literally remember after watching those videos, after getting that mindset, after slowly putting my life together, I decided to go get a reading with the psychic. And I remember one of the first things that she had said to me when she looked at me is, you're going through a lot right now, because I was, but your future looks so amazing. Like, you literally have the hands of an artist and the mind of a teacher. Like, whatever it is that you are meant to do in your life, it's going to be big, it's going to be creative. And the first thing that I thought about was YouTube, was this. And I was like, really? Like, I kind of questioned myself, because I was like, that's what I was doing and that's what I was, praying for. That's what I wanted, and my life crashed. And she was like, no, like, this isn't the end. Like, you went through what you went through, but you got to keep going. So I thought about it for a long time. After that reading, I thought about it for a little bit. I kind of pushed it to the side. I was like, I'm gonna just focus on getting my money or whatever. But then I started to think about it more and more. And I had gotten into like an argument or something with somebody. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a video. Like, I don't even want to stress. I want to do something that's gonna make me feel better. I made a video, I posted it, and from then I've just been posting, and here I am today because I believed in myself, because I trusted myself, because I know that I'm not here on an accident. You gotta really start looking at life differently, and just because you failed one time, two times, three times, doesn't mean that you're a failure. Doesn't mean that it's the end of the world for you. It doesn't mean you have to give up on what you feel is your birthright. Because once you grow your mindset, you're gonna realize that hitting rock bottom is the best thing that you can go through. Going through heartbreak, going through separation, going through depression, like those things are for you to grow. And we all have the power to develop a healthier mindset simply by taking care of ourselves, surrendering to the universe. And lastly, changing the way we think about ourselves. So I pray that after this video, you start to look at yourself and you start to recognize all of the beauty that you are. You start to recognize that all of your hard work is literally paying off right now, and you are going to see results in no time. Stop blocking yourself from your biggest blessings, okay? I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching my video, and I will see you guys in the next video.